race fans, and welcome to the FSR Pro Series at Suzuka, and konnichiwa. And my name is Fredrik Abelgard, and may I present my old buddy and of course our main commentator Brian LeBode.
Konnichiwa as well, Frederick. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good morning and good evening racing fans to round 15 at FSR racing here, SimRacing, and I think we're going to have a real good race, Frederick, here, with the title battle between Dimitri de Matos and Lucas Euler. Only 2 points separate these two guys with 3 races to go. Dave Carr-Smith in third place, 175 points, but with only 75 points, maximum points left for grab, Frederick. Dave Carr-Smith is 76 points behind, so really it's now a 2-horse race for the title between de Matos and Euler. Frederick, how does that prospect excite you?
Well, I think it's going to be a very good race actually, and it's very close between those two, and those two, they are the only ones that can actually win the championship, I would say. But it's going to be interesting to see, because we know Euler won last time at Fuji, and Dimitri de Matos wasn't near actually, but it's going to be very fun to see what will happen.
Qualifying 2, folks, and Johanni Alman, yes, Johanni Alman, a Blasphemy Passer name, who actually came second overall in last year's title race, is on pole position for the demanding and challenging technical Suzuka track. He finished behind Pumalainen last year with 236 points, and de Matos third place. Funny enough, Euler, who is challenging for the title race, Dimitri de Matos, was finished 17th overall last season. So Johanni Alma has just come out from the shadows there, folks, and claimed pole position for this race. Second place we've got Dimitri de Matos and Lucas Euler right behind him, our 2 main battle challengers. Dave Carr-Smith 4th, Sven Hess in 5th, Dukas Klumbus in 6th place, Ala Ford 7th, Jack Keithley in 8th place, Emil Usal in 9th, and rounding up the top 10 after Q2 is Benjamin Burmeister. Frederick, this track looking very good. What's your fond memories of racing around this track over the years, mate?
Well, my best memories is actually racing on it in Formula 1 Challenge. I think many of you in FSR remember that. And one of my races that we did was in a league called the Fun Gaming World, and I was racing against my now team owner, Courtney Smith there. And I think it was qualification there, and he insisted of following me, and finally he smashed me off track, and that was in qualification. We're not going to talk about the race, but it's a very fun track, it's very challenging, and at least in earlier years you could actually pass in the first and second corner. Now I've heard, at least in the real Formula 1, that the first and second corner, they have been narrowed, so it's going to be interesting to see who will, if anyone will dare to make a pass there today.
Yes, fun track, like you said. We've got 18 corners, the most famous track for title results winning, Senna and Prost, Damon Hill winning here, Schumacher winning here. Yeah, for years, even constructors' titles being won in this track, so this track has got full of history. Like I said, 18 corners with turn 1 and turn 2, like you just mentioned, being narrowed, so that's going to be fun going into it. And then one of the most challenging parts of the track, you must get right, Frederick, is the S curves, or the S's, turns 3 to 7, and they're coming to Dunlop curve, then a Degner 1 and Degner 2, followed by the hairpin turn 11, Spoon curve, very challenging, and of course 130R turn 15 before we come to the chicane, and of course that's very famous for Senna and Prost years and years ago. So this is going to be a very good technical track. I'm looking forward to it. In Q1 Euler was the quickest man, but he must be carrying a little bit more fuel to have come down in third, Frederick. So that's going to be quite interesting. Just for the folks, a reminder, folks, last year Mikko Pumalainen actually won this race, and with that he clinched the Pro Division Championship, and he didn't take part in the last 3 remaining races. He went to into the Ace. Second was Pierre Magnet, third Karim Weisberg, and Johanni Alman, who is now on pole position, was fourth last year in the race. Columbus, again, his name is always there in 5th place. Dematos finished 6th in this race. I'm just looking down the order now. Where did Euler come? He didn't take part. Okay, cool. No sweat. Okay, folks, so 53 laps, and we're just having a bit of a break right now from the race director. Frederick, what's your favorite corner on this part on this circuit? Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, I think that my favorite curve, actually, it must be the 130R. The left-hander that's taken at almost full speed. You have to lift sometimes and then go into the casino triangle. And it is actually my favorite corner, because you can be very close behind you, but into the corner you must back off there so that you don't go off.
Okay, so I think we're going to see some people really closing up into the 130R and going to the chicane. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I think I like the S's because it's quite a technical challenge. If you get those right, it really helps your lap time before you go into Degner corners, and of course the hairpin. Apart from that, the rest of the track is pretty straightforward. The spoon curve is quite interesting as well.
Yeah, one of the most.
Watch.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the most challenging corners that I remember is actually the Degner curves, which is the first one is taken at the pretty much you have to lift a bit before it, but if you go in too fast, you will end up out in the gravel trap, and if you go in too slow, you will lose a lot of time. And then comes the right-hander, in which is a 90-degree corner. So those two are very crucial to be taken right. The Degner curves, that is.
Oh, definitely agree with you. Like we saw in real life, how many times was the actual qualifying stopped because of people getting the Degner curves wrong there? But then again, some people attributed that to the low ride heights, not enough setup time where they were running in the wet, so they couldn't really get the ride heights correct. So that contributed to the real life guys going off there. And just let the folks know, there's also a battle for the team championship between Ash Racing and Torrent Motorsport. Ash Racing is leading with 379 points, and 39 points behind them is Torrent Motorsport's IP Fudge. That's 39 points behind, so that's something to watch out for again. And Frederick, and we were talking earlier on about probably one of my favorites names for a team is the Back Marker Brigade. what do you think of that, Frederick? The name Back Marker Brigade is one of the teams here today.
I think it's a very clever name there, and it's one of the teams there. It was started by Simon Smith, who is I'm sure that many of you have seen him on the forums or also in the broadcast. He's doing the AMA broadcast at the moment, and he started, I think, was about last year in the end of the season with a team in advanced, I think, and drove a couple of races. Now he has hired many drivers, and he is actually going very good. They're expanding to many categories. They have recently also launched a new team named Delatres Grand Prix. So I think that they're going to be very much successful in the future. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out in next season.
Okay, folks, we're just getting 5 minutes to go now before the race director starts the race. And some other old names just to mention is Mark Albers, my old big boss from Raldo Racing when I was racing there a few years ago. So good to see him on the track again. Welcome back, Mark. Other names that we don't really see, or new names, Frederick, is Sven Hesse, I pronounce them correctly. Benjamin Burmeister, who joined us in Fuji last race, is here again today. Also Jan Larsen. Scott Wilde, I haven't seen him for a while, he's here. Nick Rowland, another name, he raced the last week at Fuji. Marco van der Broek, I pronounced your name correctly, Marco. And Jermaine Verhorst, I hope I pronounced your name as well. And we're going to be joined very soon with the legendary WC racer for Twister Racing, Dennis Harrell, is going to be joining us very soon, folks. So we're going to bring him in and ask him a few questions as well once he's joined us to broadcast on the actual game itself. So, Frederic, before Dennis joins us, stick your neck out, mate, and tell me, what's your podium? Go on, give it a go.
Oh the podium. Well, of course I'm going to have to say that I've seen that Johnny Oldman, he seems to be very good today, so I reckon that he will probably win or probably get a podium. And Mark Albers, I've seen him race in pro last year when I raced with him, so I think that he has a chance of podium. I'm very sure of that. And of course you always have to include Lucas Euler in the podium, actually, because last race at Fuji, when he made a very strong drive and managed to win the race.
Okay, I noticed you didn't mention DDM, our championship leader. Don't you think he's going to get on the podium?
I'm not very sure, actually. He has been last time in Fuji, I actually saw he did a few mistakes, especially in the start when I think he spun. And but we'll see. He may as well surprise me.
Okay, cool. Okay, the race director decided to bring people to order right now. And I don't know, has Dennis joined us? Yes, Dennis, are you there, mate?
I'm there. Hello everybody. Hi Brian, and hello Frederick, who is once again on the camera, so commentating in cameras, really getting the hot job now. So yeah, good to be there with you, and looking out for an interesting race. I just came back from my weekend trip here in Japan. It was very interesting. But now it's great to be back on the racetrack, and it's Suzuka, one of the greatest tracks in the calendar, so we should be looking out for a great race here, I believe.
Okay, Dennis, I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite corner? I'm sure you're going to be racing tomorrow in the WC, and you can tell us what you find very good about the track. And also, there's only 2 points between De Matos and Euler. Unfortunately, Dave Carr-Smith is 76 points behind, so with only 75 to play, and he's going to take these guys. He can't even catch De Matos now anyway for it. So Dennis, just give us your view of the track, what you think of the track for this mod, and also maybe your top 3 for your podium.
Yeah, it's a fantastic track. Obviously, the Sector 1 is my favorite sector possibly in all the calendar. It's a great sector with so many fast corners, right-left combinations, and but also the rest is very nice. The middle sector and the last sector also a good overtaking spot, so it's going to be very interesting. About podium, I don't really know, have to see the grid first, but I believe Lucas Euler was in a great shape in the previous races. The Matos, as you say, is very close with him in the championship, but he's been struggling in the previous races, so let's hope this time it goes a bit better for him.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. And as you just heard now over the tannoy, the guys are now on the track now, as they're filling the track now. And Frederick, you want to take us through the top maybe 13 drivers as they go around on the formation lap?
Yep, I'm gonna do that there. I'm gonna do 2 jobs there, but whatever. First up, we have Johanny Olmen, our pole sitter. Second place we have Dimitri de Matos, one of the championship contenders. On third place we have Lucas Euler, the other one of the championship contenders. Let's see who will get through the first two corners there. On fourth we have Dave Carl Smith. Fifth we have Sven Hess. Sixth Alar Fort. Seventh Emery Rizal. Eighth Benjamin Burmeister. Ninth Jack Keatley. 10th Ben Phillips. 11th Danny Roberts. 13th Damian Dainemain. 13th Mark Albers. I meant to say 12th in before that. 14th Mikael Tumala. 15th Jan Larsen. 16th Sam Sikowski. 17th Philip Estrada.
Go for
18th Marco Vanderberg. Very funny there. 19th Scott Wilde. 20th Nick Rowland. 21st Minigas Columbus. 22nd Jermaine Van Hust. 23rd FSR Pro Director.
Nice one, Frederick.
Yeah,
Just a little joke there.
Yeah, Phil has already 5 cars behind him, which if it stays that way, it's already a big success.
Okay, Dennis, we'd like to do us the honors as they come up to the grid and take us through the first lap, please, if you don't mind. Would you oblige us? Thank you.
Okay. Oh, and Estrada has actually just spun on the formation lap here on the 17th place in the chicane, but is now back on track, and looks like he gets it going again, which can of course easily happen. And someone is not really lined up correctly on the grid, but now he is. So let's have a look at the front. It is Johanny Alman on a great pole position actually. On the right, De Matos on the left, and now the lights are coming on in Suzuka. Bit of a different procedure here from upside to down, but now we go, and we are off, and Alman keeps the lead, De Matos second, and Euler coming up in third, Carl Smith in fourth. It's getting, oh goodness, and Euler is almost off, and someone is off for sure. That's Hesse is off, who made a great start, but now it's falling back. So Alman is leading, De Matos second, Carl Smith third, who touched with Euler in the first corner. Fourth is fourth, which is nice. Fifth is Lucas Euler then. Sixth is Ben Phillips. Seventh is Hesse. Eighth is Tuomala. Ninth is Burmeister, who lost the place. Keithley in 10th. Damian 11th. Sikowski 12th. Ussel 13th. Mark Alberts is battling with someone. Larsen in 14th.
Wow, wow. Dave Carl Smith just really stuck it into Mr. Euler. I don't think he'll be very pleased with that. At least I hope he hasn't got any damage. But wow, what a great start there, Dennis. Taking that from Sikowski's in 12th place, Emmy Ussel in 13th, Jan Larsen in 14th, my old boss Mark Albers in 15th, Danny Roberts 16th, Philip Estrada in 17th, Nick Rowland 18th, Jermaine Van Hust in 19th, 20th is Marco Vandenberg, 21st is Scott Wilde, and already, Medukas Columbus has had suspension failure. He's not going to be a happy bunny about that. Okay, so who's dropping down the someone's dropping Euler! What's happened to Euler? He spun! Oh my goodness gracious me! Euler has dropped down, guys, the order to 16th place! Wow! This is going to... I hope he gets back on track and starts to close up on people. And Philip Estrada coming up behind him when he turned one, and Philip just backs off there. And Euler's not going to be happy. Dennis, what do you think about that, mate?
Yeah, just trying to get a replay for myself here. He spun on the chicane. Lucas Euler was off in the chicane and was rejoining then, with several cars coming up on him, as we saw. And now he's going again, but only... in 16th place, so once again a mistake from Lucas Euler in the opening part of the race, and that's not doing his championship campaign very good, because De Matters is in second, but he's under some good fire from Dave Carr-Smith, who was very close for the first time on hot speed on the main straight, but he's fallen a bit back now. But we'll have to see what the Dave Carr-Smith and the Green TMO car can do. And Ella Ford in 4th place is not far away either, actually. Phillips in 5th, Hesse 6th, has made up a place there somehow. Tumala 7th, Keithley 8th, and Burmeister also. Yeah, of course they all made up a place due to Euler's spin. 8th place, Keithley is going forward. Yeah, and he's got him. So Keithley is through. Oh! That was very optimistic late braking there from Tumala, and he almost ran into the back of Keithley there, but luckily he didn't, and now maybe Burmeister gets a chance. But what's happening with Dave Carr-Smith? Can't do anything against De Matters here, who gets a big twitch out of the first corner, which is a bit unusual, but gets it back going and still keeps himself in this 2nd place.
Cool. Oh, Nick Rowland has a DNF. He must have had an accident somewhere. He's left the game. I'm just watching Euler at the moment. Oh, sorry, he's dropping. Alafort. What's up to Alafort? He spun. Alafort spun to the S's there. Frederick, what's your what do you see so far, mate, after the first 2 laps of the race?
Yeah, just for viewers watching PSR TV, we had a very short replay of Euler there spinning. Well, what can I say there? I'm very surprised that so many is doing mistakes, but maybe it is the nature of Suzuka, that is. And we're seeing right now in live when Euler passes Danny Roberts there for 14th. He's got a lot of job to do, Euler here.
Yes, definitely. He's 13.9 seconds behind Johanny Arman as he comes into the spoon curves there. Yes, but oh boy, I hope Euler is okay. Not to take anything away from De Matters there, but he's really going to be under pressure, and I suppose the championship title is, I don't know, the pressure getting to him. I don't know, but as Euler comes through 130R as he comes to the chicane, onto the brakes, dropping down the gears, into 2nd gear as he comes into the chicane, but now he's catching a bunch of people. Now let's see if his speed can close the gap on people. Don't forget to join us on fsrlivetiming.net.tc for live updates with the split times, folks. You can go to that website and find more stuff on there. Okay, back in the lead is Johanny Arman, who comes into the 2nd Degner curves here. Oh, Dave Carr-Smith has passed. Oh, Dennis, Dave Carr-Smith has passed Dimitri De Matters. We must have missed that, guys. Do we have a replay of that? Did anybody see that, guys? And Ben Phillips up into 4th place. And this guy Sven Hess is looking really lively now behind Ben Phillips. Guys, did anybody watch the overtaking maneuver there from Dimitri De Matters and Dave Carr-Smith?
No, Brian, I haven't quite seen it. Can't get it on replay too, so it must have been like a lap ago already.
Oh, and Ben Phillips spins into the spoon curve. Sorry, Dennis. Ben Phillips just spun out into spoon. I think Sven has tapped him into the back there as he entered spoon curve. Sorry, back to you, Dennis.
Yeah, big crash for Ben Phillips. Let's have a look. And let's see, Frederick, if you can get that on replay. And it looks like... No, he spun by himself. He was under pressure from Hesse, but he spun by himself. He clipped the exit curb of the first spoon left-hander, which immediately makes you retire. Euler to the chicane with 4 cars surrounding him. Will he make it? He's passing Sikowski. Coming out to the last corner there. He's got a toe. Pulls out to the right of Sikowski. Will he make it down? Oh, look at Alafort's closing in on them as well. Into turn 1. Oh, this is close on the spinner. Who spun there? Wow. Usal is off. He made contact with Alberts, I believe. Mark Alberts and Emre Usal. Euler's off. Lost the front wing there. And possibly was tapped slightly from behind, or just spun it. But anyway, lost his front wing, and it's gone from bad to worse for Lucas Euler. has to go back to the pits now, and that's the thing. If you're a championship contender, if you fall back and if you want to play and make up some positions again, you tend to run a too high risk, and that's exactly what happened to Lucas Euler then. So drama going on here in the first laps. The front guys are dropping off. Euler is off. Alafort we've seen off. He's in 11th place now, and Carl Smith indeed now second, but Lucas Euler,
Frederick,
goodness me, he will be dead last after that pit stop.
Well, I managed to catch Euler there on the PSR TV there, and I saw that incident, and I'm not sure, I didn't see him getting tapped or tap anyone there. I think he just spun it by himself in that in the SS there. But very unfortunate, and he's going off again there. Can't see where it is, but he's on track again.
Spoon curve.
Yeah, it's spoon curve. But I think that his championships. His chances for winning the championships have certainly got right now a very massive drawback, or what you're going to say there. But it's a shame.
Yeah, so it's taking a very huge big dent as he comes into the pit lane here. But I don't want to focus too much on Euler, or we'll have people complaining. But up in front now, Johanny Alman leading by 1.3 seconds. Dave Carl Smith has got him in his sights. Dimitri de Matos, I don't know if he's been told yet what's happened to Euler, but he's in 3rd place, 4 seconds behind. Sven Hess in 5th place, being hunted down by Jack Keithley in 5th place. Mika Tomala in 6th place. Benjamin Burmeister coming into the spoon curves here behind Tomala, is closing on him there. In 8th place is Damien Denhumain. 9th place, my old boss Mark Albers. 10th place, Alafort. I'm sure he was in 4th place at one time there. Jan Larsen in 11th place. Emi Usal in 12th. And Philip Estrada, go on Philip, in 13th place. Danny Roberts in 14th, Scott Wilde 15th, Marco Vandenbroek in 16th place, Jermaine and Euler's now must have, Euler's got his wing fixed now, and he's challenging for 17th place, and Euler takes Jermaine Venhorst. 19th place, accident, Sammy Sekowski, Mr. Ben Phillips, we already know had an accident as well. So things are settling down, guys. Things are settling down right now. Closest battle is between Keithley and I'm wrong there. Sorry, Keithley and Sven. There's a second behind between each other there. They're coming to the hairpin, and he comes at the exit hairpin. 5th gear, 6th gear, approaching spoon curves. 7th gear, drops down to 2 gears to 5th, and 1 more gear for the second part of spoon curve. 1 more gear into 3rd, as now he climbs up the hill, approaching 130R. Let's see what Keithley's speed is. 7th gear, 180, 190 miles an hour. 197, and he eased off there, just like Frederick said. You probably ease off there and brakes very late for the chicane there. Dennis,
actually, Hess just made a mistake in the spoon corner, but it doesn't look like Keithley can take any profit out of that from himself. So while this is not really hotting up yet, we can maybe start to sort out a bit all the things that happened after 7 laps.
Albers is catching David into turn 1 and turn 2. Dennis, take it over, mate.
Yeah, I'm looking on that as well. Let's have a look. 8th place, and okay, so Mandras Klambers was the first one to retire in the first lap, actually, for whatever reason, unfortunately. Nick Rowland, I think he went off in the spoon corner, or may have just been a disconnection, we couldn't quite see it. Ben Phillips had an accident in the spoon corner, spun by himself by clipping the curb. What happened to Sikowski? He's out as well, we didn't see that. And the other two things, Euler we've seen, and Alafort has spun in the first sector some laps ago. He was 4th, but now he's fallen back to 10th place now.
Okay, I'm just looking down the order to see any close battles, but it seems to be the battle between Mark Albers and Damien Humane right now as they approach. Just come out the smooth curve, they're approaching 130R. Let's see now, does he get a toe coming to 30R? Let's see if he's going into the chicane and outbreaks him. Albers eases off a bit there. He's pretty close, not close enough. He does out it! Oh! Very good, very good. Now, Dennis, was that Damien Humane breaking too early, or Mark Albers' skill breaking late into the chicane there? What do you reckon, Dennis?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the Japanese sun on the Mount Fuji. I was almost about to say, no, we don't have a Mount Fuji here. Sorry, I missed that one. But so Mark Albers now indeed in that 8th place, and Dane Humane, who actually made up a few positions after his start, it seems, if I remember correctly, he's now back in 9th place. So let's see how he's going. He had a pretty quiet race last time round in Fuji, but finishing in, what was it, 6th or 7th place, and if he can make up a few more positions, he'll have another decent result here. But let's look at the lead. And did you mention Dave Carl Smith is in the lead? Did I miss that?
Something must have happened there.
What happened?
Frederick, did you catch that? Wow, we're busy. I think I'm going to keep watching the leaders at the moment, but we just missed it, and I can see Johanny Arman just trying to close out on David. He must have spun. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I don't know what the fuel loads of Carl Smith is. I'm going to check a look at his lap times. Frederick, over to you, mate.
Well, Dave Carl Smith, he shows surprises us once again by taking Johanny Arman for the lead. I didn't see that as well. I was too busy following the battle between, well, I don't recall the names, but anyway. But it seems that Dave has a good car. It looks very well balanced, and he has already taken up a 2-second gap there. I'm going to show the last lap times around, and Dave Carl Smith 1:29.9, Johanny Arman 1:30.5. So I think that it seems that Dave has a very good car here.
Wow, yes, it's the quickest lap so far by anybody. So yeah, so Carl Smith's car's really hooked up at the moment in the race right now. So cool. Okay, Dave Carl Smith leading the race. Johanny Arman in 2nd place. DDM sitting pretty in 3rd place here. 4th,
8th place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 8th place. Go on, Dennis. Go on, take it.
Yeah, we have to see what Alain Fort can do, because he has some decent pace in that Precision Motorsports car, trying to recover from his incident in Sector 1 a few laps ago. He's now all over the back of Damien Humane, the team boss of the DHR Fanatec team, and he's trying to take him into Spoon Corner, but it doesn't really work there. The straight before that is kinda too short, but now comes the best overtaking spot. If he's close there, it looks like he is. Well, he goes into the grass there just a little bit. That's not a thing you want to do if you want to take the slipstream of the car ahead. Through the fast left-hander and into the chicane, and I think he's too far away there. Yeah, thinks better of it, doesn't try it there, and has to wait one more lap because he's too far away, and clips the curb there on the chicane, and immediately falls back 2 seconds on Dane Humane. So it's not looking like too well hooked up, that car here for Alain Fort around the Suzuka track, and now actually Tumala is coming up round behind him.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, 43 laps to go. I know it's still early in the race, but if you are, guys, I'm going to ask you, Dennis, and also you, Frederick, you are Lucas Euler. The race is not over yet. Anything can happen to Dimitri Dematos. What do? Do you try now to try and push too hard, try and get as many points as you can? What's your thought right now if you're Lucas Euler, guys? So start with Frederick. Sorry, I should have asked you your names first. Frederick, you're Lucas Euler. What's your thoughts right now, mate?
My thoughts will be very simple. Just keep the foot on the throttle and pass as many as possible. That's what I would do. I'm not sure about team tactics there. Okay.
Dennis, how about you? You're presented with a situation. How do you go forward with this situation now, Dennis?
Yeah, let's name it like it is. I would think, oh my god, what a shit. Lucas Euler really not not a great situation here for him, but he's in 15th place now. He will make up a few positions. The next car is 4.8 away from him, which is Scott Wilde, and he should be able to take him very soon, but the other cars are more than half a minute away, so he will have to do some more Saturday evening work here. And if we just look at Dane Humane and Ford, they're still going at it for 7th place, and behind them has it dropped back. Has it only in 9th place, I just see. I think we missed that as well. There's so many things going on here tonight, can't quite keep up. Or maybe Frederick could with the cameras.
Oh yes, a three-way battle now. Ford, Sven and I beg your pardon. Damien Den Humane, Ford and Sven. Three-way battle coming to the second Degner curbs here. Onto the gas now.
Tamala's off. Tamala's off in the second Degner, and we've seen some retirements there in the actual real F1 qualifying session at least, and he's now gone off on that very same corner again as well, and lost his front wing now, so he's out of the fight for that 7th place, which is led by Dane Humane. He leads the 3 cars train there. Dane Humane, Ford and Hesse, who dropped back for some reason in the last lap. And now let's have a look at Ford. He's going for it before he takes him.
Sorry, Dave Carl Smith in the pits, guys. Dave Carl Smith in the pits, and Johanny Alman as well. Dematus takes the lead, guys.
Yeah, just to commentate a bit on Sven Hess there. Sven Hess was in the pits there, and just Mikael Tomal's accident just confirmed what I said earlier. You have to take the Degner curves with extreme caution. If you take the first one a bit too heavy, the risk is that the car bounces out in the gravel trap and you're dead meat in the wall.
Oh no, Max Albert! Something happened to Max Albert, sorry.
He went off in... Let me just check out... That must be the Degner too, or where is... Let me just check that one.
Goodness me, they're dropping like flies here.
It was turn 1 actually. And he just spun it in turn 1, and he corrected it actually, but then it was too late. It went into the... Not gravel, but some weird ground here on the runoff areas on the Suzuka track, and then stalled the engine, it seems. And to get this oversteer in turn 1 is pretty weird. Obviously on worn tires, Mark Orbis.
Euler spins in turn 1! Oh no! He's lost his rear wing! Oh goodness me, guys! I think that is... Frederick, what's that word in Japanese you told me earlier on? Euler, what's happening? Is it sayonara?
Yep, I think that we can say sayonara to Euler's chances to make a good position in this race, sadly.
Oh, that's going to be a bitter thrill for him to swallow, Dennis. Oh my goodness me. So close, so close. But anyway, there's still 2 races to go. We don't know. Something could happen to Dimitri Dematos here. Who knows, guys? Who knows?
Yeah, so certainly not well oiled up then this race, Lucas Oil, unfortunately. And exactly that's exactly the thing which you don't want to do in his situation. If you try to recover positions, you can't do a great result anymore after the incidents he had in the... Oh, he spins it again, loses the front wing, and someone coming across! Oh my goodness me, big accident there! And he's off.
Euler retires.
Now, I was about to say you don't want to do that if you try to still get a few points. You have to bring it to the finish somehow. Even if you finish only in 10th place, every point is worth a thing. But now he gets 0 points, and someone ran into the back of him there.
It must have been Alain Ford because he's at a DNF now, registering on the system, Dennis.
Well, Alain Ford is in the pits and has retired there after a very long pit stop, and it wasn't him, I believe. It was Vandenbroek, a back market brigade driver, who ran into the back of Lucas Euler. But Alain Ford, a weird retirement, just being stationary in the pits and then just parking it for some reason. Possibly a bit too much damage there to his car.
Yeah, we're going to bring you a replay soon of the accident between Euler and whoever it was. I didn't see actually who ran into the back of him.
Yeah, must have been
Okay.
Marco van den Broek, but we'll see very soon.
Okay, while we're waiting for the replay, just jump in anytime, Frederick. Going to give you a rundown. Dimitri de Matos, championship leader, leading the race.
Okay,
behind.
looking at the
Go ahead.
look at the replay there, and I couldn't see who it was, but we saw Ole spun into the wall, and someone just cut across the grass there and hit them. I'm not sure who it was, actually. Yeah, it was Vladimir.
Yeah, so some further drama coming up here on Suzuka while we still have some good fights. 12th place, for example. No, not quite. That's a back marker in between them, and he's struggling very hard. That's Tumala, actually. He's not a back marker, but he's struggling very hard, losing some good ground there, possibly up for a pit stop now as well. No, he doesn't. He goes through. So we have to say we did expect a few retirements from this race because it's really... and De Matos in the pit. So let's have a look. He rejoins the track in 3rd place, 4th place as Burmeister goes by, so De Matos from the lead into 4th place, and it looks like they all are on the same strategy. A 3-stopper it seems for everybody here, Brian.
Oh, okay, so Burmeister hasn't stopped yet though, and Dave Carr Smith according to the live timings though, so I wonder if those guys are on 2 stopper side as opposed to 3, and there's not sure, but we've got a gaggle of cars now. Oh, Scott White moves over as De Matos is trying to challenge now. Benjamin Burmeister has come up to the hairpin onto the brake, 2nd gear. Burmeister takes a tighter line. De Matos goes wide, coming to the curbs. Up the gears, 5th gear, 6th gear, 160 miles an hour as they both approach Spoon Curve. But Burmeister has pulled out a bit of eked that little gap here into the Spoon Curves. 2nd part of the Spoon Curve. De Matos closes in on him. Now going up the hill here, the camera angle doesn't really show you it, but De Matos is closing on Burmeister as they come up to 130R. Doing over 200 miles an hour. So eases off to 192 into the chicane. After chicane, and now going through where Timo Glock has actually... oh, and De Matos comes in, Dennis. Frederick.
Now he comes in again.
Not sure why he comes in there. He has been in the pits.
It's a drive-through indeed for De Matos. That's not very woo for De Matos then, but he rejoins in 6th place. But that's still better. Better because Euler.
I mean, it makes it more exciting for us to watch the race. I wasn't trying to say anything disparaging to De Matos. No way.
Just a quick note on Burmeister there. If I remember correctly, actually, he ran very high on the fuel in the last round of Fuji there, and it proved very successful as he finished 5th there.
Okay, the battle for the lead, guys. Battle for the lead. Johanny Arman has taken the lead from Dave Carr Smith. It's the other way around as they put Spoon Curve here. Less than a second between them. Carr Smith right behind Arman now. These guys had a few good battles last season when Arman was still in the pro division. Oh, and he's lost a bit of gap there as they approach 130R. Let's see, Carr Smith can close in on Arman, but Arman seems to be stretching his legs there, guys. Just the power of that GS racing car compared to Timo to the IP Forge car.
Yeah, once again we missed a change in the lead there, as Alman obviously has retaken the lead somewhere, maybe during the pit stop, so I guess we'll just have to watch the battle for the lead now for just some time, because I believe Alman against Dave Carr Smith can be a very nice battle, because they're on the same strategies and obviously on the same speed, same pace, so we should have a look at that one. And Burmeister, yep, as you said, Frederick, he's been going very deep in the first in of Fuji, so he looks to be very racy, possibly on a two-stopper once again. But let's have a look. Arman now is coming up, a back marker is coming up, or rather the other way around. Arman is coming up to the back marker, and he gets the blue flags now. He gets it for Dave Carr-Smith as well, and Dave Carr-Smith actually made up some tiny bit of ground there on Alman, and we just actually got the info from Mark Alberts, who has retired, that he made, on the main straight, he made a fuel adjustment on his display, and apparently somehow forgot to turn in properly into turn 1 and got it all wrong. Flipped the curb and off his car went into the grass and then stalled the engine. So very unfortunate for Mark Alberts, who's a very experienced driver in FSR, but even these things can happen to anyone, I guess, even especially on this track, which is so challenging with all the corners and not so much time to relax for the
Yeah,
driver.
I just witnessed Tomala going off out of the spoon curves there, Dennis, and oh, look at him into chicane, really wobbly. He must have a handling problem. But unfortunate for my old team big boss, Mr. Albert's there, but Mark, you should be really doing your adjustments, not as you're going to turn 1, boss, but usually the longest part of the straight. So unfortunate to lose Mark Albert's there. Okay, give people the rundown now of the lead. There's only about half a second between. Go ahead.
Just to cut in a bit, Brian, I just watched the lap times for Dave Carr-Smith and Johanny Allman there, and I noticed 2 laps ago that Dave Carr-Smith made a 1:34.8 and Johanny Allman made a 1:30.7. So I think that they made a little mistake that allowed for Johanny to pass him.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, mate. Cool, but this battle is still ensuing here as Carr-Smith catches Allman again. But from here, Allman tends to pull away. If you just watch the screen here, Allman's pulling away slightly. Dave Carr-Smith doesn't seem to be wanting to get into the toe of it. Maybe he's just trying to not want his car to overheat. As we come into 130R, coming to the chicane, onto the brakes, because it's right on top of him here. As we go around for another lap with 34 laps now left in this race. Okay, run down, folks. Allman leading the race. Carr-Smith second place. Burmeister third. Jack Keithley fourth. Sven Hess in 5th place. Oh, what's happened to Burmeister? Burmeister in the pits again, guys. I thought he was in last lap. Something's happened to him. DeMatteis in 6th place. Damien Den Humane in 7th place, Emin Usal in 8th place, Jan Larsen 9th, Philip Estrada, well done Philip, in 10th place, and Danny Roberts in 11th place, Mika Tomala in 12th, 13th is Scott Wilde, Jermaine Vinhurst is in 14th place, 2 laps behind, and Marco van der Broek, our last of our runners, 2 laps behind as well in 15th place. Oh, Ben Phillips, guys. Oh yeah, he left the game a while ago. Sorry. And Lucas Euler. Frederick, anything interesting, mate?
Well, at the moment, it seems like the field is starting to level out there. The only thing interesting at the moment that I can see is actually the battle for the leader between Johanny Allman and Dave Carr-Smith. I'm actually really surprised here. We haven't even got halfway yet, and we have 15 cars still running, and I'm not sure if it can be those first 20 laps there of excitement there when drivers do some mistakes or something like that, but it's not a very big field running at the moment.
Yes, definitely agree with you. I thought we'd have some more exciting race, but then once Euler kind of had his moments, things have, the excitement has just taken the sting out of the excitement for us. But look, Dimitri DeMatteis 35 seconds behind. This wasn't this guy. Oh, someone spun there. Who's that? Tomala. After the chicane, they spun. But DeMatteis in 6th place and is 35 seconds behind the leaders. Something must have happened to Dimitri DeMatteis, guys. I don't know why he's dropped down there. I mean, he's already pitted with the other guys. I don't know what's happened. But I'm getting on my timing screen.
The drive-through.
Oh, the drive-through, of course. How stupid of me. But according to the live timing sessions, Dennis, it says here that Dave Carr-Smith hasn't made a pit stop yet. So that is interesting. Unless the live timing session is something wrong with it, because if that's the case, he's carrying a lot of fuel, and he's doing pretty well, guys. I'm going to reload my timing screen. I don't know if it's a glitch in it, but Dematos has not made a no, not Dematos. Carl Smith hasn't made a pit stop. Dennis, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, he has actually. So the live timing must be wrong on that point. But both two leaders have made a pit stop, and basically everybody has. We've seen Burmeister in the pits 2 laps ago. He made his first pit stop, so he could be one of the few exceptions doing a 2-stopper, but not quite sure yet. He's still on for both windows, but Dematos actually has made a 3rd pit stop, and I can only imagine that one being a 10-second stop-go penalty. We've seen him doing a drive-through, but maybe he got a stop and go and interpreted it as a drive-through, and then it wasn't a drive-through actually, and then had to go in once again. So he's been in the pits now 3 times, but only 1 time for a scheduled stop for new fuel and fresh tires. So it's not going well for the Matters, but his luck is that his rival Euler is obviously already out long ago. So, but still, he should be taking more points from that and not waste them that easily. But he's now in 6th place, 10 seconds down on Burmeister, who might be going to stop less than himself. So have to wait and see. He might just be staying on that.
Yes,
place.
I agree with you 100% there, Dennis. I remember this happened to me in one of the races when I was SimRacing FSR. I misinterpreted a drive-through for a stop and go, and I went through and it still pulled me in, and if I didn't come in I was going to get black flagged. So easily done, but like you said, he's not really capitalizing on Euler's unfortunate demise here. So let's see how it pans out. Carl Smith now. Arman has pulled up a whole 1.5 seconds on Dave Carl Smith. There's only about half a second, and it's a lap ago. Something must have happened with Carl Smith there. Frederick, going to bring you back in here, mates. Any thoughts at the moment? There's a battle for well, it's only a second between, but not really close enough, for 3rd place between Jack Keithley and Sven. Frederick, anything that catches your eye, mate?
Well, not at the moment. Just looking a bit around the standings there, look at the teams there, and I found that you remember we talked about backmarker brigade, and I mentioned the team Delatrace Grand Prix.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I actually found out right now that we have a driver from Delatrace Grand Prix driving there. It's Jermaine Venhost, and he's currently running in 13th position. He's 2 laps down though. And I think that in 14th, if I'm looking correctly, we have Marco for backmarker brigade there, and I think he is about 2 or 3 laps after also.
Yes, and right now he is the back marker. So I was trying to take the Mickey, but it's an aptly name for the team there, and where his position is at the present moment in time. Okay, Carl Smith has closed the gap by 8/10 on that lap alone there, guys. It's now 1.2 seconds from 1.9 a lap ago. I don't know if Arman made a mistake there, but Carl Smith seems to be zeroing in on his prey right now as they're going through the S's, one of the most technical parts there, up into the Dunlop curve now as they're approaching the Degner curves. Here we go into Degner 1, braking, 5th gear, drops down 2 more gears, 3 gears for Carl Smith there to 2nd as he exits Degner 2 and approaching the hairpin. He's closed in a 10th there on Arman there. Has gone this drag down to spoon curves there, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear, 187 miles an hour. But Carl Smith seems to be able to catch Arman a few laps ago, but doesn't seem to be able to close in on him on this part of the circuit. Dennis, you're racing tomorrow, I assume, in the WC. I'm sure you've turned some laps here. So how are you finding the track overall for this mod?
I haven't done too many laps actually, as I was out the last 2 days, but It's difficult. The problem is not really the track, but it's difficult to get a good setup here because the track is very, very bumpy in some places, or basically everywhere on the straights. So you have to get a good setup, and it was quite difficult. And if you do just a few laps to get a good run, basically all through the track, make it smooth for all the parts of the track, for all the different parts of the track. So it was not so easy. So we will see how it turns out tomorrow. But for sure, it's going to be a great race, and I mentioned it earlier. We also for this race we did expect a few more retirements than we usually do, because the track is so tricky. It can easily go off in the two Deckman corners, or you can go off in the after the first part of the spoon corner if you clip the right hand side curb. I went off in practice numerous times there, so I should avoid it tomorrow in the race. But it's really not easy. So just have to see on the drivers here if they make it round safely. We got only 14 runners remaining, as Tumala is our last retirement. And well, Sven Hesse actually has been in the pits again 2 laps ago for his second stop out of 3, we should think, but it could well be a 4-stopper now, because his second stint was only 10 laps long, so that's a very short stint there for Hesse. He's coming up now on the back of Burmeister, and he should take him now, because Burmeister might still be on a 2-stopper, so, and Hesse may be on a 4-stopper even, but so, well, I don't know. I was thinking everybody is just on a 3-stopper. It looks like a good way to go here, but he could well be on a 4. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, that was my next question. As Hesse comes up into Burmeister, into the chicanes there, he's right behind him now as a power out, 3rd, 4th gear, as the last curve there. Oh, and Burmeister moves out to break the toe, and he comes back in now, and he's coming to turn 1. So, oh, that's Jack Keithley they're catching now. Ooh, this looks interesting. As Keithley just made a pit stop. Yes! They're now catching Dennis and Frederick. Jack Keithley, who seems to have made a pit stop. After the S is coming to Dunlop curb. But Burmeister seems to have eked out a little gap here. And they're both approaching the Degner curves. Degner 1 and 2. And Dematos doesn't seem to have made any impression. Still 35 seconds behind the leader as these guys now approach the hairpin. Burmeister and Sven Hesse. And let's see what Jack Keithley is doing. Jack Keithley's maintaining that gap as they approach the spoon curves. First part of spoon and second part dropping down another gear is Sven. And that's a nice long drag up the hill as they approach 130R. So we're going to try and keep you folks up to date with the battle, but these 3 battles are a bit spread out slightly, just by a second or so. But these 3 guys are probably the closest battle. I'm going to take a look down the rest of the field, folks, and give you an update any second now. Frederick.
And
I think we want to say
Dave Carl Smith has made a pit stop a lap ago, and Alman just made his pit stop, and he's fallen behind him. So Dave Carl Smith is the new leader of this race once again. We should say.
Oh yeah.
So he's taken him brilliantly through pit stopping, but for how long? We've seen Alman getting a little bit further away in the previous stint, but obviously having a bit less fuel on board, so have to see if he can do similar things here and try to repass Carl Smith when at the latest when he makes his next stop. And Alman definitely at least got the fresher tires now, so but I guess we missed that one again, so we really have to focus on that. It's going to be an epic battle towards the end of the race between the 2 leaders, Dave Carl Smith and Johanni Alman, exchanging the lead in every stint, it seems, and not much going on behind them. But for now, look at 5th place, Hesse and Dematos. Dematos on the move again after his stop and go and drive through. So there he comes, and Hesse actually is on the fresher tires, I was thinking, but Dematos just takes the position very easily through the 130
a spinner there.
R. or whatever it's called. It's actually
Yeah, it was quite an easy overtaking maneuver there for Dematus, who's now come up the order again. Now only 16 seconds behind the leader, and Dematus is right behind Burmeister. So they seem to have dropped Sven at the moment, and Dematus really, I don't know. He seems to be sensing here that this is good for him.
Just cutting in, Allman is right behind. Just cutting in, Allman is right behind Dave Carl-Smith there.
Oh, so which battle do we watch? Thank you guys. Oh, Carl-Smith went, and Allman went right into the second part of Spoon Curves there. I'm not sure which of the battles to watch now, but Allman seems to, Carl-Smith seems to have pulled out a bit of a gap there. And also has, Dematus right behind it into the second part of Spoon Curve there. And let's see now, riding with Dematus. Let's see, getting a toe. Yes, he's pulling up a bit. Benjamin Burmeister is now right behind him now, and he pulls down to 130R. Does he do the touch there? As to the Alonso. Oh, but Burmeister keeps his position. Oh,
yeah, Burmeister doing his best on the outside to keep his position, goes out of the slipstream here on the main straight, and Dematus doesn't even try to follow him, so he probably knows he can't do anything on that main straight, a bit too far away. So we'll have to see. Let's go on board with Dematus. We keep the battle for the lead in the back of our heads. Not so much going on there. Allman is still behind. So let's have a look at Dematus on board now. And Burmeister, the blue car, is ahead of him in third place. And we think Dematus has a pit stop more to make. We're not sure, but we'll find out at the next round of pit stops. And as you remember, Dematus had a drive-through and a stop-go penalty, so he should be up the front anyway, but he isn't quite yet because there's still Burmeister ahead. But for how long, Dematus will surely try it once again on the fast left-hander in sector 3, the place where he tried it before in the last lap. And Burmeister gets a big twitch on the braking into the second part of Spoon Corner. Dematus right behind, and he drops back actually. Just didn't press full throttle there and lets him go for some reason. Doesn't want to exchange rubber once again, and now there he goes on the outside for the chicane. No, that doesn't work. It can work sometimes, but
Sven has joined the battle, Dennis. Sven has joined the battle. Oh, Dematus pits.
Yeah, so it's a bit over earlier than we all thought. And Frederick, let's have a look at how long Dematus is now stationary in the pits for his first visit in the pits now, actually. Fourth rather. Fourth pit stop then, or visit in the pits. And there he goes, 7th place, Dematus. And he keeps it in front of Dane Humane. So it looks like a pretty short stop. Again, Frederick.
Yeah, I think that Dematus, he is still on the free stopper. He hasn't changed any strategy due to the drive-through there. It was very interesting there because Sven was gaining on both Dematus and Burmeister there due to their battle there. But I think that Dematus there, he thought that really because they are on different strategies, and Dematus has the quicker car of between him and Burmeister. I think that he decided to make his pit stop right now and try to make up the time on track. You can't be stuck behind a slower car like that. You will just lose time.
Yep, very right indeed. And we saw he backed off anyway on the back straight. So the reason obviously for that is that he made a pit stop in that very same lap. And indeed, Brian, Sven Hesse is now joining the fight for third place, but Hesse is at least on a 3-stopper, if not more, and Burmeister is still going, so it looks more and more like Burmeister is on a 2-stopper, only having made 1 so far. And he can in fact just let Hesse go now, I believe, if he wants to, because if Hesse pits, then again 2 times more. Well, no, actually, well, we're not quite sure. He can't quite let him go yet, because if he's on a 3 Hesse, then they both have to make 1 more stop. So this is actually a fight for position here. A 3rd and 4th place. Burmeister and Hesse definitely looks faster now on the fresher tires, but he looks a bit too fast for my liking. So he might well be on the 4th stopper, so we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, race got a lot of gaps right now. Closest back to... Oh, someone's got a suspension failure! Larsson! Larsson's got suspension failure, guys. Retires on lap 30. Don't know if he had an accident. Yes, usually what happens if you have a suspension failure. But Larsson's out of the race, unfortunately for him. Carl Smith and Arman still battling. 1.2 seconds as they both approach turn 1. Arman drops down 4 gears into 3rd into the S's, the sector that Dennis really likes. So do I, because it really sets you up. If you get these right, it's going to help you your lap time here. And now approaching the Dunlop curve. Arman in 5th gear, 6th gear. Degner 1 drops down a gear to 5th, drops down 3 more gears into 3rd, and he comes off the rumble strip there. 5th gear again as he approaches the hairpin. Late onto the brakes. 50 miles an hour, and we're getting a replay coming up. Frederick is going to give us a replay any second now. When Frederick's got it, he'll just jump in here as Arman comes into the first sector of the spoon curve. Oh, okay, here comes Frederick now with the replay. Frederick, over to you, mate.
Yeah, just looking at Jan Larsen there, and he just lost the car into just after the first 2 corners. They just lost the car, went a bit too wide out on the grass there, and just lost it and went into the wall.
Okay, shame about that. And my good buddy Philip Estrada in 9th place. Go on, Phil, top 10 position. I can't remember you being this high up, buddy, but great stuff. Twister Racing owner as well, Philip Estrada. So very good for him. Okay, give you the run through again, folks. Once again, sorry for there's not that many battles, but Sven has his. Oh, it's a second. Oh, a second as we go with the start finish straight. But Carl Smith leading the race. Second is Johnny Arman. Benjamin Burmeister had a very good race last time round in Fuji. 4th place is Sven Hess. Emil Usal, wow, he's doing very well today. In 5th place, Jack Keithley. I believe he was in 4th place last race. Des, I can't remember now. Maybe Frederick can remind me. Dimitri Dematos in 7th place. Right behind Keithley, so this is a good battle for position here. Just less than a second now as they come out to the S's. So into the last part of the S, and Dematos really all over the back of Jack Keithley here. Coming up to Dunlop curve. Let's ride again. Let's ride on board Dematos as he closes on Keithley. Into Digner 1. Dropping down the gears. Oh, a mistake there by Keithley. And that allows Dematos to close right up here as they cut the hairpin. Will Dematos be brave enough to go into the hairpin? No. I'm sure by now, Dennis, that Dematos would have been told by his pit communication that his main rival Euler is out of the race, so they were saying not to take any chances here into the spoon curves. And Dematos right up behind now Keithley. Let's see who can drag each other down into 130R on the chicane, the famous chicane where Prost and Senna had their tangle. And oh, Dematos so much faster. Oh, go in there, the touch. And late braking there by Dematos, and Dematos takes the place from Jack Keithley. Dennis, any views on that, mate?
So obviously Dematos absolutely on fire, and he has to be if he wants to get a good result here still in this race. Uzel is now in the pits from 7th place, and as Frederick has shown us in the replay a few laps ago, the retirement of Jan Larsen is he's one more victim of the difficult track here in Suzuka, just clipping a curb in sector 1 and then going off. So have to see how many more victims we can find. Hopefully not too many more, as Uzel rejoins and almost cuts the white line on the very beginning, but he didn't quite, so all good for him. 8th place. And Estrada now actually in 9th place, and he's still on the lead lap, and if a few more cars retire, he could even get a top 5. My friend Mikko Pumalainen was just saying. That's a bit wishful thinking, but it could still be possible. We'll have to wait and see. But still, let's look at the lead, as Dave Carl Smith is actually passing Estrada now. And he's now a lap down indeed, and Alman is very close once again, so he's taken a break the last few laps, but now he's ever so close and trying to get through, or is he just waiting for the next round of pit stops, which would be the final round of pit stops, so he can't wait for too much longer anyway. And but on the other side, depending on the straight line speeds of both of these cars, it's quite difficult to pass here on the track, despite having 2 straights here, 2 longer straights, the back straight and the main straight, which is not that long, but anyway. So let's have a look. Alman, he just doesn't seem to be fast enough to get really close to Dave Carl Smith, which he needs to be in order to try and move on the TMO driver. He's just a bit too far away everywhere, and 6/10 is the gap on the last sector, and that sounds like a nice close gap, but it's just not enough here on this track. Possibly will be enough on Monza on the long straights, but here it's definitely not good enough. And he's dropping a bit further back after the spoon corner, and I guess he'll just have to settle down and wait for the next pit stop. If he pits early, he can jump him on the fresh tyres. If he pits later, he has to do a blistering Michael Schumacher in lap there and get him from there, and Dave Carl Smith has to do obviously a similar thing to keep the lead.
Most intriguing there, Dennis.
Find out very soon.
Very good spot on there as usual, mate. And the other battle we've got is for, believe it or not, 3rd and 4th place. Sven Hess tracking down, keeping his quarry in front of him, Benjamin Vermeister. So that looks like a good race as well. De Matos in 5th place, but 14 seconds behind the battle for 4th place. So, and Sven and Benjamin are no slow slouches, as De Matos now overtakes Marco with 18 laps to go now. So we're now coming into the is it time for the final pit stops, or have they made their final pit stops yet, Dennis?
No, they still got to do one more pit stop. All of them being on a 2-stopper strategy, except Burmeister. We think he could be on a 2-stopper. We'll have to see, when did he make his last stop. Well, that's long ago. That's definitely a 2-stopper then for Burmeister. Still only 1 visit in the pit so far, so Burmeister then in 3rd place. And has 1 more stop, just like everybody else. So that's just a net result.
Dave Humane just made a pit stop there. I don't know if he's the first of the. This is the last pit stop for Damien. Dave Humane just leaves the pits as it comes to the S's there. So he should be on his way now. Right. Okay. Yeah, like you said, Dennis. Arman still. Go ahead, Frederick.
Yeah, just cutting in there, looking at the times there, Benjamin Burmeister made a person best of 1:30.9, so I'm not sure though, he seems to be going pretty good actually up there.
Yep, definitely. This guy, Benjamin Burmeister, has got the pace for up front running there. So definitely saw him last week in Fuji, and I did comment on him when I joined the game. Said well done on your good result last race. I remember Jack Keithley. I think it was either Fuji. I don't know if Dennis, it was you and me commented on it, but I remember Jack Keithley. Was it Monza? I can't remember which track he did, and he had a very good result there. So Jack Keithley is also not a slow slouch there, but everybody's spread out. Just the battle for 1st and 2nd, those guys are close together. Oh, and look, Alman right behind Dave Carl Smith, and they approach the chicane, and Dave Carl Smith just jinks out a little bit there to distract Alman as they come over the start-finish straight with 16 laps to go. So I guess, folks, they're going to be coming in to the pits very soon. Both these guys, any second now. Another battle is between Sven and Benjamin as they come and they're going to overtake Jermaine Verhouse. Oh, and look, that's really helped Benjamin Meister to escape Sven there, taking up the opportunity, driving there, catching the back marker on the chicane there.
Yeah, Brian, I was just looking into the results. I can't actually find Jack Casey in the previous race. Oh, there he is. Not a good result in Monza. Retired in the first lap, so yeah, but he's a good... oh, what's that? Ah, that's just a back marker. Dave Carl-Smith gets round him. Yeah, so Jack Casey, one of the new hot drivers there for the DHR team. Definitely getting better every race. But...
Oh, Scott Wilder's had to move out right there.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit difficult to see due to the similar colour schemes there, these cars. Or actually, it's just the same team actually. The Ghost Speed team, well, not the same team. Johanny Alman Racing.
Scott Wild! Scott Wild! Sorry to interrupt you there. Scott Wild coming up to 130R, just lost it. I think it's brakes problem for Scott Wild, but we shall soon find out. He just lost it, and before he even got into 130R, Dennis, he spun and hit the wall there, and now he's limping over, going to they're taking the escape route there. So what happened to him there? Sorry to cut you off there, Dennis, but I do apologize, mate.
Yeah, no problem. I was a bit too slow on that one, it seems, because that was that very backmarker whom they just lapped. So indeed, Scott Wild is now...
Johanna's taking the lead.
Oh, indeed. Where is Dave Carl-Smith? Dave Carl-Smith made a mistake. He's still in the first corner. Oh, he's going through sector 1 now, but he made a mistake. There must be like 15 seconds between them now. Let's have a look. No, he made a mistake. Yeah, it was just a pit stop there. It was just a pit stop of Dave Carl-Smith, so sorry everybody for the confusion, but that's just the extra action they're getting from the current commentary team. So,
we're so paranoid of missing the action. We missed the pit stop. Okay, folks, sorry about that. But sorry, back over to you, Dennis.
yeah, so now it's exactly as we mentioned. Johanny Alman now has to do that blisteringly quick in-lap for his pit stop now. Does he come into the pits now or not? Does he go to the right side or left side from that picture? No, he doesn't. And he goes through once again, and that should Dave Carl-Smith... that should enable him to get some good advantage over on his fresh tires now, because he has got some very good grip, which is very important on such a fast track like Suzuka, and he should be like almost a second quicker now the first 2 laps. So Alman obviously wants to play the game in a different direction. Sorry, I'm not really awake this evening, it seems. He wants to go very long and wants to go for a very, very short final stint. 14 laps to go now, or 15, can't quite see it here. So he wants to have the best tires when he makes his pit stop. He will fall behind Dave Carl-Smith again. 16 seconds is the gap, and then with his fresh tires he will try to take him, which didn't work out in the previous stint, but it might work out this time. We expect him in the pits in this lap or in the next, but we really think he should be in the pits in this one, because he didn't seem exactly slow in the previous stint. So it doesn't look like he's heavily fueled up, so he should be in now. Brian, can you see anybody getting ready for the Ghost Speed team?
No, sorry, but Carl-Smith is taking a second out of Johanny Alman there, and let's just see what Alman does now. Does he come into the pits there? Because I'm going to ask you a quick question. Is he coming? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Frederick, let's see what Johanny Alman does, and watch Dave Carl-Smith. Carl-Smith coming out of the last chicane now, and Alman coming onto the last box there, and Carl-Smith overtaking Marco And let's see what's Arman doing as Carl Smith comes out. You got the eyes taking him. So you were quite right there in your prediction there, Dennis. I was going to say to you, from what you said, I could just read into your words there. So would it be the wisest thing? Oh, Marco goes so wide there. Johanny Arman's way. Would it have been better for Johanny to have pitted immediately to cover Dave Carl Smith there? I suppose you're going to say yes. But if you'd just like to tell, just give us your views on that, because like you said, he stayed at a lap too long, would you say,
No, I
Dennis?
don't think so, because he was behind Carl Smith anyway, and Dave Carl Smith on the new tyres would have retaken him anyway, so it's probably the best thing to stay out as long as you can and then have the ultimate best tyres in the last stint now, 2 laps fresher than Dave Carl Smith, and then just try to take him. Actually, it doesn't make much difference if he goes 1 lap longer or not, but now he did, and he's now 2.7 behind. But as I said, got the fresher tyres now, and that's the only chance now. Has to pass him on track. No more pit stops, or no more scheduled stops at least. So it's going to be a fantastic battle, and we've missed so much of that battle during the whole race. So we got to stick with that one now.
Okay, so to let you know, Dematos in 3rd place now. Does he have to stop again? I'm not sure now, but probably does. I'm not too sure, folks. Okay, so I'm going to keep watching Arman and Carl Smith. I will still keep checking down the order for you. Just to update you, Carl Smith leading, Arman 2nd, DDM 3rd, Burmeister 4th, Hess 5th, Keith Lee 6th, Usal, wow, he's doing quite well. Usal in 7th place, and Damien Denhumain in 8th place. In 9th place, my very good buddy Philip Estrada. 10th is Danny Roberts. Haven't mentioned him too much, so big shout out to Danny Roberts there. Well done. Scott Wilde, 4 laps behind. Jermaine Van Hess in 12th place, 4 laps behind. In 8th place is Marco, who seems to have spun again. I can't see where he is. Oh yeah, that's the last chicane there. So Marco Van der Broek has spun 8 laps down, but this is his first race. He did say to warn the guys at the beginning he's going to take it easy, nice and easy. So he's just getting his first experience, I should say, here in FSR.
Yeah, look at the lead, 9/10. That's exactly the fresh tyre advantage. Alman is 9/10 behind Dave Carl Smith after just a lap. He's made up 2 seconds in the last lap, so he's right behind him now. And I just have to correct myself. What I said a few minutes ago, Jack Keasley obviously was 4th in the Monza race, but got a disqualification post-race. It seems that's why he's down in the list, but he finished 4th originally, so a very good result for him there. How could we forget about that one? But now let's have a look. Alman, first sector behind Dave Carl Smith, and his tyres obviously have gone off now slightly, so 8/10 now. He can't really get closer now, at least in the first sector. Clips the curb there. You shouldn't really do that, except if you're very, very confident of your car, and immediately lost a bit more ground to Dave Carl Smith. And we've seen Dave Carl Smith in previous races being a very racy man, or so to say, being quite aggressive also in fighting, but still very fair in all his moves, so he will not give up that lead without any fight, that's for sure. But I mean, who would? No one, I guess. So and Alman, we have to see, pole position he had in this race, he wants to win as well. I mean, that's quite obvious. So and if you fight for the win whole race, you don't want to come second, so that will be a very, very hot one until the race finish here after 53 laps here in Japan.
Yep, and we're coming now to 10 to go, folks. 10 to go. Like Dennis was saying, Carl Smith leading, Arman 2nd place coming to turn 1, 7/10 now behind them. Coming to turn 2 in 4th gear, 5th gear to the S's, eases off, drops down to 4th, does Arman, and up to 5th for the second part of the S's, back to 4th again. and then the car do its job for him, use the suspension and everything. 5th gear, Dunlop curb. 6th gear as they approach the Degner 1 drops down 2 gears. Degner 2 drops down another 2 gears there again to 3rd as they both approach the hairpin, and there's Marco just moves over very wide. He's quite a good chap, making space for the leaders here. They both leave him now and they approach the spoon curves as they come in 7th gear, 185 miles an hour. Johnny Alman doing there, dropping down to 3rd, second part of spoon curves. Oh, makes a mistake there, and that's going to allow DCS to pull away from him slightly. And indeed he does, coming up to 130R, taking flat out. Oh, just eased off a little bit there to Johnny Alman, and comes into the chicane. Successfully negotiates the chicane there, and they back again, and now we've got 9 to go, so we're coming towards the end now of the race. Burmeister in 3rd place, a full 20 seconds behind as he now approaches the chicane himself. Sven coming out to 130R, also approaches the chicane. DeMatos also now approaches the chicane. Oh, he's closing in on Sven there. He is Dennis there. Keithley as well, just coming to 130R, and he's catching, is it Scott Wilde? Yes. Usal into 130R as well now. Damien Humane just coming up to the spoon corner. So, Frederick, any comments from you, mate? With about 8.5 to go, as Oman closes in on Carl Smith into the hairpin. Frederick.
Yeah, just some general observations there. Both the trio there of Burmeister, Hess and the Matos, they've all made the pit stops there, and it seems like Benjamin has done a brilliant strategy, I must say there. I'm impressed. He has made a brilliant strategy. He's in 3rd place right now, and he has about 8 seconds on Sven, so I think that he's good to go on, well, unless he makes a mistake or Sven and the Matos get rockets on their cars, he's going to take the 3rd place, I'm pretty sure of that. And I was looking at the times there when he was going around there into just before his second pit stop, and they're really close.
DeMatos, sorry. No, sorry. No, you take it, Dennis, please. You take it.
Yeah, and Hesse comes back on the outside. Oh, they bang wheels. That was a bit unfair move there from the Matos, I have to say. It just pushes Hesse out of the way before the corner, actually, and obviously some big frustrations in the Matos' mind there after all kind of a bad race for him today, but just takes that position. He had taken it on the straight after the spoon curve when Hesse went slightly off going over the curb, and then kind of punched him out of the way there, just slightly though, but still, and they got that 4th place now. So, and I was about to say, the Matos on the fresh tires, he pitted in the last lap, so or in the penultimate lap now, so he was on fire now on the fresh tires, and that was why he took Hesse in such an easy style actually. And Hesse meanwhile is clearly on a 3 stop and not on a 4 stop. He made his pit stop also a few laps ago, and he will not come anymore, so he'll go to the end now as well. Burmeister has pitted as well in the 3 laps ago, I believe, so yeah, so gonna be interesting to see what Hesse and
okay, before I comment on that, sorry to cut you off there, Frederick. Will you come back and finish your thoughts there, mate, before I give my 2 cents worth? Frederick, please continue what you were saying before we rudely interrupted you there, mate.
Yeah, not much to say about Burmeister. I've already said all my, like I say, I had already said about everything I could say about him, but I was pretty much concerned with the incident between Hess and Di Matos there. I'm sure we're going to hear more about it after the race.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, as they were closing on him, I said Di Matos is catching this guy. So Di Matos is really trying to get 4th place, which will give him 15 points, which will make him be 17 points ahead of Lucas Euler in the championship title battle. So I suppose Di Matos really trying to grab every point he can get, but oh, I think I'm going to leave that on to the stewards and not really say too much about that. So we'll leave the stewards to say something about that. But D'Amato's taking no prisoners there. Let's go back to the lead. It's coming out of the spoon corner is Johanny Arman and Dave Carr-Smith. A second in between them. Let's see. And this is going to be 6 to go as they come out of the chicane and over the start finish straight. Here we go into the chicane with Prost and Senna back in the good old days of motor racing. Now going to the start finish straight, and it's 6 to go now as Carr-Smith breaks the timing beam. Right, I'm going to try and look for any more close battles for you guys. Burmeister in 3rd place comes out of the chicane. D'Amato enters the chicane, and Sven comes out to 130R there, folks. Keith Lee, where is he now? Oh, just pushing the 130R as well. So not too bad a race for Keith Lee. Usal doing well. Damien Denhumain doing well. My good buddy Estrada in 9th place doing very well as well. And Danny Roberts in 10th place. 4 laps down is Scott Wilde. Jermaine in 12th place, and last of our runners in the back marker brigade car, Marco van der Broek. He seems to be having a bit of a problem, guys. Marco van der Broek, he's taking it too gingerly for my liking. But guys, Dennis and Frederick, interesting, no brake failures. Is this a track that doesn't really need that much braking, guys? Comments on that, please.
No, the track is very easy on brakes. Actually, it's probably the easiest track in the calendar, if I'm not mistaken. And I would be very surprised to see brake failures here. The engine is a bigger problem here, and we could still see a few. No, I don't want to mention it. So let's focus on the fight for the lead. Dave, with just a few more laps to go, still a second ahead of Johanny Arman, and that fight has been going for all the race now, and we hope that both cars actually see the finish, which they very much deserve. 20 seconds is the gap to anyone, to Burmeister in 3rd place, and D'Amato's now in 4th. Can he still take Burmeister? 7 seconds behind. I don't think that's possible. He's faster, but not fast enough, and it would be just a bit too much to get on the podium after 2 penalty pit stops, or visit to the pits, a drive-through and a stop-go. But the problem now for Dave Carr-Smith, actually Alman's got the easier part here, because he's the hunter and Dave Carr-Smith is the hunted part, and on such a difficult track you really have to stay so concentrated. On other tracks you can just you can just drive and bring it home somehow, but on this one you really gotta stay focused and not make any mistake, because the slightest mistake can cost you the race. In fact, if you go off in Spoon Corner or in Degner Corner, you're off, you're just out of the race, and you may not do that here in any case. It's gone well for 49 laps now, almost, if they when they cross the line now, but still a few to go until we've fulfilled the complete 53 laps, 100% distance, and one more back marker is coming up, as we can see, as we could just see in the foreground. And we'll see how that goes. Alman has got tires which are 2 laps fresher, but obviously they are now pretty much the same. The advantage is just in the first 2 laps, basically, if you're on new tires. So it's pretty evened out, and the fuel is of course just the same now anyway. So I have to see. But a great battle here with many. Oh, someone, that's Vandenberg once again, off the track, but still going, letting the leaders through. So, Brian, what do you think about that? Marco Vandenberg is doing very slow times. Let me just check that out. He's
like 10 laps behind, isn't he?
What is he? 18 seconds off. Yeah, and 18 seconons a lap slower. So,
yeah, he must have some damage.
He might not even make the... Yeah. Interesting to see if he makes a 90% distance.
Oh! Carr-Smith spins! Oh my gosh, we're going to have a replay, guys, of that! Carr-Smith spun! Coming... No, spoon curves! I don't know if he was touched by anybody or by himself. Frederick, did we get a replay of that, mate? Sorry, Dennis, to cut you in there. Back
Yeah,
to you,
no
Dennis.
problem. Very right, of course. Now he just spun on himself there on the inside curve, actually at the spoon corner, and that's very, very unfortunate. And I think I just did one more thing which I didn't want to do. Cursing drivers seems to be my speciality, if you want to say so. And unfortunately, Dave Carl Smith has been the victim this time. But the race is not over. He can still come back. But for now, it looks like Alman is going to win this race. But I mean, 30 laps to go. We thought.
Again.
Did he have any damage there? Because like Frederick just said, Carl Smith just spun again, coming into the S's there, Dennis. I don't know if you caught that just a few seconds ago.
No, didn't quite see that, but apparently I think he just wants. I don't think he has damage, but he just seems to want too much now, trying to get back the lead. But that's out of reach now, unless Alman makes a mistake, which is pretty unlikely, as it seems he's going still very smoothly and steadily now, and all the pressure has fallen off from him now, obviously. And that's Dave Carl Smith's going to be very, very frustrated after this one.
Runs wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fuming, Dennis. He'll be absolutely fuming with himself, but he's going to calm it down now, because you know, it's barring, like you said, Armour making a mistake. That's it. It's game over, really, for this one for Carl Smith.
Donatus on Burmeister.
Oh, and Dennis, Burmeister and Dematus now, and Burmeister goes wide out. Dematus not trying, maybe it's having an overheating problem, but Dematus now closing on Burmeister for third place. This is going to be crazy, because he had a stop-go penalty and a drive-through penalty, we're assuming now, and for the chicane. Dennis, over to you as you take us through this battle, mate.
Yeah, so let's just go on board with Dematus. Burmeister must have made a mistake. As I said, the gap was 7 seconds, it was like 2 laps to go, but now the gap is like nothing as they go down the main straight. Dematus on the very inside on the approach of turn 2. And let's see, through sector 1, what can Dematus do? Burmeister's needs to keep his nerves together now, not make another mistake, and not lose that position. And I'm just hearing we've got some problem with the broadcast, it seems, with the live broadcast, but I'm sure we still have the saving on, so everybody should be able to see that at least in replay, so apologizes for that. As we're still watching Dematus, maybe Frederick, you can check out something there for us. Anyway, let's have a look. Dematus into the hairpin and out of the hairpin. Acceleration, and Burmeister, look at that, he looks very ragged on the exit of the hairpin, and not a smooth acceleration there at all from the twister driver, the new twister driver, we should say. He made his debut in Fuji, coming home in 5th place, and now he's in 3rd place, but for how long? For how long? That's the question, really. And the gap at the lead is 8 seconds, so Alman looks like to be the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix, but who will be on the podium?
Last lap, Dennis. Last lap, Dennis. Take us through, please.
Yep, so we'll cut soon to our leader, but look at that!
Dematus!
Yep.
Go on!
Yeah, Dematus almost touched him there, and Burmeister gets on the right side. Dematus doesn't even bother to take the slipstream. He knows he can't do anything on the short main straight. Going through turn 1, going through turn 2, acceleration, don't clip the exit curb. Nope, they don't. You can retire there as well, very easily. Left, right, left, one more back marker coming up as Alman is on his final lap, as we said, so we'll see him winning very soon, we think. But look at that, the back marker is still there as they go through the Degner corners. There they go, Degner 1, don't clip any curb, and back marker on the way. Degner 2, acceleration, and now he's very close. Will he try it? Will he try it? Burmeister covers, he defends. Dematus on the outside, can't quite make it. That was very close, but it's not over yet. Burmeister, as Alman is on the final back straight, but look at that, Burmeister. Final opportunity, or penultimate, and he goes round, he takes him. No, he doesn't. Oh, they bang wheels again, and Dematus is off. Dematus is off. Alman wins the race as Dematus goes off after he clipped the side pod of Burmeister's car, as Alman indeed wins the Japanese Grand Prix pole position race win. Fantastic result. Dave Carr-Smith will be very, very frustrated with second place, although that's still a good result for him. And Burmeister with a two-stop strategy and keeping that very frustrated and ragged De Matters behind him in third place, and De Matters now in fourth place, coming around the finish line. What a race, Brian. Fantastic finish.
Wow, 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 wow. I think Benjamin really deserved that one there. Dimitri De Matters showed us all his racing craft skills there, but Burmeister was up to it there. De Matters trying to go around the outside, but Benjamin Burmeister said, not today, mate, not today. And De Matters, for a second there, I thought he was going to throw it away into the wall there, and you know, be silly, but this should really put, I think, I don't be too premature in it, but oh look, Sven is bumping De Matters on the cooling down lap. Is that because of what happened to them a few laps ago? Look, they're still notching each other into Degner curbs there. I he goes into spin. Ooh, I don't know what went on there, mate. I don't know where to some. I don't want to start any controversy, so I better not say anything. But fantastic. So let me give you a rundown, folks, of the top finishing position. Arman wins a race. He hasn't raced in pro for quite a long while now. I think he's got 15 points prior to this. Carr-Smith in second place. Burmeister in third. Oh, look at De Matters again and Sven. What's going on here, guys? Sven in De Matters in fourth place. Sven in fifth place. Jack Keithley in sixth place. Emmy Usal seventh. Damien remain eighth. Philip Estrada, go Philip, in ninth place. Danny Roberts in 10th place. Scott Wilde in 11th place. Jermaine Van Hurst in 12th place. Marco van der Broek, last of our finishers, in 13th place. Our non-finishers, we had Jan Larsen, Mika Tomala, Ala Fort, Lucas Euler, oh my gosh, Mark Albers in 18th, Sami Sikowski, Ben Phillips, I remember him having a problem in Spoon Curve there, Nick Rowland, lasting only one lap, having junior finish, and Dukas Columbus must be on the first lap, having an accident there. Wow. Frederick, give us your views, mate. And Dennis, come on. Who's your driver of the day, by the way, guys? Frederick, starting with you, and then you, Dennis, please.
Well, my driver, I must say that without doubt it must be Benjamin Burmeister. The two-stop strategy. I didn't see where he qualified, but I think it was around top five or perhaps in round 8. Something. I didn't see actually, but he made a good race there, and he managed to keep calm, although De Matters was behind there. So he's my driver today. Also a big shout out to Johanny Allman, always great there, and of course. Very nice battle he had with DCS there, so I think that it was a great race overall. But as I said, my favorite, Benjamin Burmeister of the day. And you, Dennis, please.
Yeah, it's Alman's first win. I just looked that one up, and so obviously the award of the driver of the day, in my view, has to go to him. Pole position and race win. You can't do any better than that. And he kept his nerves together and waited for Carr-Smith to make a mistake, and he just mentioned Carr-Smith. Obviously he got distracted slightly by a back marker there and turned into the corner slightly too early, which is which is not a very good excuse, but it's still kind of an excuse. But no, seriously, very unfortunate there for Dave. Almost got the victory there, but Arman just that tiny bit better in that race, and both of them have really nice drive from them both. And Burmeister, as you mentioned, Frederick, very good run, solid, and got his nerves still together in the final lap when De Matters came up behind him. Very aggressive, we must say, De Matters today. And yeah, so all the podium really doing a fantastic effort today.
Yeah, I think I'll have to decide with you, Dennis, on Johanny Arman being the driver of the day. He does have 15 points. I checked up, so he must have done 1 or 2 races at the beginning of the season. I'll try, and when we go for the break, when Frederick takes us for a break, I'll try and look up exactly and what races he took part in. As Philip Estrada tells me, go Niners. Yes, Philip, go 49ers, mate. Okay. Yes, so I agree with you there, Dennis. Frederick, are we going to go for a break, mate, while we try and get some people for the interviews?
We certainly are.
Right, so we're back live in Japan for the post-race press conference, and not a high turn up here it seems, but we got at least Marco van den Broek with us here. And if I remember correctly, Marco, welcome to you obviously first. You finished last, but you finished this race, so I'm not quite sure if you're actually in the points, because you got to make obviously the 90% race distance to achieve points in a race, but at least you finished. And so are you happy, or what do you think about your race?
Yeah, particularly I'm very happy to even finish the race without my planned pit stop strategy of 20 stops because of damage I planned. So it went very well. I kept my car on the track. Of course, a few mistakes. It's not the best track to learn. I come out of the AMA, so I have some experience in driving these cars, but of course without the aids and with special things at the cars and stuff. Also driving with an AMA setup, it's quite difficult in this league, it seems. But well, I learned very well in this track, and I'll hope to work forward to it on Sao Paulo, which actually suits me better because Suzuka ain't my favorite track. So well, I did my best I could to not bother any people, which I warned already. I'm not gonna fire up some battles that are already going on in championships. So I hope that would stand well. And as well in the end with the Dave Schmidt and the leader fighting and the other one Alman, I guess it was fighting, so I wouldn't want to mess them up, so I stayed alert that the other cars might be coming my way.
Hey Marco, how are you doing, sir? Yeah, I believe this is your first race in the Pro Division, is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I was mentioned during the broadcast about you mentioned that you're going to stay out of people's way, so let people know that that's what your intention. So like you said, Suzuka is a very technical track to learn for your first pro race, and Interlagos is you're more suited to that. But I think we're actually going, correct me if I'm wrong or not, is actually we're going to Canada because I don't think they've got that new track just yet. I don't know if Canada is before Interlagos. Maybe I got my schedule mixed up there. I think it's, but I'm not too sure. So you're saying that Interlagos suits you better then, yeah?
Yeah, and to be honest, I guessed it would be the Abu Dhabi track that would be replaced. So that's the last track of the year. But to be honest, Canada suits me as well, so it's very good to know that two very suitable tracks towards me are coming up, so I'm pretty happy to know that, because I haven't driven Abu Dhabi yet, would only make it more difficult to me, as these first three races will be getting data and seeing what I can do next year eventually.
Well, thank you, Marco, for sticking to what you said there, getting out of people's way there, so it was very kind of you to do that. And you kind of had a baptism of fire in one of the more difficult tracks, Suzuka, but well done. At least you, as they say, to finish first you got to finish, but at least you finished on this tough track, so very well done to you, Marco. Frederick, have you got any questions for Marco?
Well, no ones that I can think of right now. Just want to say that, Marco, even if it was your first race, I'm sure that you will do very well in the coming races, and I hope you have a good time at the Black Market Brigade. Simon Smith is your bot, is that correct?
Yeah, he has taken me in this car, because actually I could have done AMA, but the time in real life didn't suit me. So I only had two choices, which were Pro and World Championship. So I guess the choice was easily made to become Pro. Well, yeah, it's just taking what I can get and hoping to drive no one in the way for the championship standings. And well, yeah, just trying to do my best. And as Simon said, as long as you finish, as he briefed me, as long as you finish, you will be in the top 14 by the most chance. So it worked out very well, what he said.
Okay, Marcus, well done, mate, well done.
Thank you.
Dennis, any more further questions for Marco before we sort of round up today's broadcast and ask you for your views overall? And I have found the detail I was looking for. Johanni Armour did one race in Turkey this year, but before that, Dennis, any more further questions for Marco, please?
No further questions from me. I guess you covered it all very nicely. So yeah, just good luck, Marco, for the next couple of races, for the last races, in fact, for this year, and then obviously also for next year in your new category. Obviously a bit difficult with a lower amount of driving aids. I speak from experience there. When I first tried to drive with lower aids, or in fact no aids, I was just spinning around. So, but you get used to it after a while, and you have been doing pretty well. I mean, you've finished your race today, so that's quite nice. We should mention, as you said, Brian Alman. He was actually last year he was fighting with Mikko Pumalainen in the pro category for the championship, and but apparently this year he didn't really have the motivation to carry on racing. But as you said, Brian, Turkey was his only race, or well, now Suzuka was his second race. He took 15 points out from Turkey earlier in the year, and now 25 with that win from Japan. So a good comeback there from Johanni, and let's hope we'll see him more often in the future. And Frederick, what are your final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts are that overall I think it was a very good race. Too bad with all the retirements, but I guess as you have said many times, Suzuka is that kind of track there that you have to count with retirements that like this. It's a difficult track there. Also, some final words to Marco. Welcome to the Pro family, the best series in FSR. I almost said there. Now Pedro's gonna be mad at me.
I'm not gonna add anything to that because I actually liked AME as well. So okay.
Okay, so we've with a vote of 2-1. I think Johanni Armour gets the vote for the driver of the day. Good comeback from Emirates. You haven't seen him since Turkey. He came fourth there. And Dennis, you and I at the beginning, I did mention, not that you were aware of it though, that Johanni and Pumalainen fought for the battle. He ended up with 236 points to Mikko's 290. So it's good for to see him back again here at Suzuka. I wonder if he's going to race the remaining races with us. So okay then, folks. So Euler has now lost another 15 points to Dimitri de Matos, so the Matos probably have a wider smile, and we've only got is it 2 races to go now, guys? So if it is, I suspect de Matos will be having one hand on the trophy. Is that correct, guys? Dennis and is it 2 races to go? I can't remember now. My brain is fading quickly. Okay,
yeah, it is 2 races to go. It's Montreal, Canada, which are coming up to 25th of October, and then the final at Interlagos in Brazil at the 8th of November.
So it's de Matos, I suppose, now to lose now with a 17-point gap of for the next 2 races. Okay, anyway, those are my final thoughts. Oh, by the way, let's not forget our sponsors, FSR, of course, for bringing us the race, Track IR, from Natural Point, of course PSR TV. I want to thank also Frederick Abogard for the cameras and his commentary. Of course the legendary Dennis Harrell, second right now in the championship for WC, and also world champion from 2005. Also from Marcus as well. But I'll give the floor back to you, Frederick, and to Dennis, to have your final thoughts while I sign off now. Back to you guys, and don't forget to join us, guys, for Canada in, I believe it's in 2 weeks' time. Frederick.
Well, just a correction, I said the wrong dates there. I meant the 24th of October we have the Montreal in Canada, and on the 7th of November we have the race in Interlagos in Brazil there. But join us again in Canada in a couple of weeks. Dennis, your turn.
And now we just got the new standings here after the Japanese Grand Prix, and now De Matters is obviously out with a bigger lead now in front. He's in first place with 266 points, and second, scoring no points today, is Lucas Euler, 249, and everybody else is not in touch with the title. Dave Carr Smith is in third place with 196, adding some nice points today with that second place, and Columbus in fourth, Wertmüller in fifth. And in the team standings, it looks like Ash Racing is now on first place, 379. Torrent Motorsports in second place, 361, and the other Torrent Motorsports team, the Redshift News team, in third place with 192. And you can find out about the other positions at www.formula-simracing.net, and then go on the right side to the Pro League, and then you can find out anything you need, all the results and all the standings, of course. So yeah, we'll be racing once again in 2 weeks' time, but let's not forget about tomorrow. There's 3 more races on Suzuka tomorrow. You don't want to miss them. Tomorrow morning, well, not morning, but in midday in Germany, 11 o'clock in the UK, and 10 GMT is going to be the World Series ADV Advanced Class racing in Suzuka, 75% race distance, with Borna Spoileric, I believe, once more being the favorite for the race win. But on such a difficult track as we've seen today, all the favorites might just be flying off at some point. We don't want to hope for it, but it can happen, so we have to see. And the same story goes for Ace, obviously, where we have some favorites from the Twisted team usually, but anything can happen. And then, of course, in the evening at 18 GMT is the WC race, the World Championship, where Roy Colby can actually catch the World Drivers title 3 races from the end of the year, so you don't want to miss that. And I'll be there tomorrow morning with the commentary and the cam, so hope to see you there. And thanks to Brian and to Frederick doing a good job on the cams. And from me, it's goodbye until tomorrow, or until 2 weeks for the next pro race.